know my next guest as an award-winning comedian who co-created The Office and Extras. His latest series, The Outlaws, began its third season last week. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Stephen Merchant. People. Nice to see you.
This is lovely. I'm so excited to be back.
I'm happy to have you back. You're always fun to talk to. I meant to ask you something the last time you were here. People often say, like, oh, the British version of The Office.
Yes.
Does that bug you? Because shouldn't ours be the American version of The Office? Because you created The Office, and I love Steve Carell, and I love the show.
Yeah.
How does it feel to you to hear that?
I just think of them as the one that paid for my British house and the one that paid for my American house.
It's very healthy.
You know.
It's very healthy.
I'm sorry.
Way.
I didn't want to come in and sound so vulgar, but that was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Came naturally. Now, the last time you were here, you told us about hanging out with one of your heroes, Christopher Walken,
yes.
who was in The Outlaws.
Yes.
Is that make you uncomfortable to be with your heroes ever?
Yes.
But in your business, you've been luckily, you've been very successful, and because of your talent, you must meet a lot of them. Are you frequently uncomfortable, or are there some standout uncomfortabilities?
Well, it helps if you're prepared, right? So, like, for instance, I knew I was going to meet Christopher in his house, so I could prepare myself. Okay, I'm off to meet Christopher Walken, and I could kind of steel myself, and that's okay.
Sure.
It's when I'm surprised by a star that I love.
Yes.
Like I'm not expecting to see them.
Sure.
Like one time, I was in London and my friend who's American came over. She said, would you like to go to a Thanksgiving dinner here in London? And I said,
right,
great.
Because you guys don't know from Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but we don't really celebrate Thanksgiving. So I thought, great, because I've never been to a Thanksgiving dinner. And it never occurred to me to say, whose house are we going to? And we get to this house, big house by the river in London, and the door is opened by Mick Jagger. And I remember thinking, oh my God, if Mick Jagger's the butler, whose house is this? You know what I mean? Like, jeez.
Sure.
But it was Mick's house. And I never met him, he didn't know who I was. And I walk in, and I wasn't prepared. You need to prime someone for a Jagger. You know what I mean? You can't spring a Jagger on someone.
Your Jagger story.
Yes.
What would impress him? Yeah.
Exactly. And so I'm there, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, if I'd known, I'd have brought, like a $500 bottle of wine instead of 4 cans of PBR or whatever I took, you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, play it cool, play it cool. So he said, hey, I'm Mick. And I said, hey, Mick, what do you do? You know what I mean? Like I was trying to...
Yeah.
And suddenly, I think, well, there's going to be other people. And there was no one else there. It was me, my friend, Mick and his girlfriend. It was just the 4 of us. And now I'm in Mick Jagger's living room, and I'm sitting opposite Mick, and the 2 women are talking, and I'm just... and I'm thinking, you've got to ask him something he's not normally asked. You're a talk show host, right? You don't want to ask the same old questions. He's been asked everything. He's 80 years old. I'm like, and I was trying to think, and all I could come up with to ask was, oh, so Mick, what time's bedtime for you? Anyway, it's Thanksgiving, so there's a platter of, what do they call the pigs in blankets? Right?
Pigs in blankets, yeah.
And Mick picks up the tray and he offers them round like a gentleman, because that's what he is. And he's offering them round. And he comes to me. Now, he stood in front of me with this, there's a platter of, and I've got a toothpick and I'm trying to get one of these, and I can't get the toothpick through the sort of armour of bacon, right? So I'm like, and now I'm just pushing it around. And Mick Jagger is stood in his living room staring at me, chasing a sausage. That's what's happening now. And I can't, and I'm sweating because I'm thinking this is not going well. And in the end, I just looked at him and went, you can't always get what you want. And it was, but man, it was so...
Did he like that?
It was intense.
Oh, okay.
It was intense.
Now,
we're not buddies. We don't hang out. I haven't been back for another Thanksgiving.
Now, the 3rd season of The Outlaws has less Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
He's still there, but there's less Christopher Walken. But you've added the great Richard E. Grant.
Yes.
Who you worked with on the film Logan. Here you are. There
Yes.
you are on Logan.
Yes, I played a giant albino mutant.
Yeah.
Typecasting. And
It's not a bad look.
it's pretty good look. Yeah,
it looks like an easy cleanup.
Yeah, you can have some fun. You know, like you can hang around outside a barber shop and like, as customers are coming in, you're like, don't use the trainee. You know what I mean? Like you can.
But both of you were. Did you guys like?
Well,
had you become friends on doing that?
We had never known each other before that, but we were filming Logan in Natchez, Mississippi.
Oh, sure.
Tiny town in Mississippi. Lovely people, lovely town, but not a big place. And normally, you know, there's this old kind of adage in show business, right? Hurry up and wait.
Sure.
They'll call you in case they need you, but they might not need you for days. And Richard and I were not used for days and then weeks. And so it was just he and I in Natchez. And the crew and the cast, Hugh Jackman, everyone else, were off shooting nights. So when we were awake, they were asleep and vice versa. We never saw anybody. It was just me and Richard in this one hotel in Natchez, wandering around. It was the middle of summer. We had those fans, those kind of like Scarlett, you know, O'Hara fans. We're walking around like, I look like that, right? Like we're getting some looks in Natchez. And there's not really anything to do. It's a lovely town, but there's not much to do in Natchez. And the one thing we got to look forward to was the bar quiz. There was a quiz in the bar.
Oh,
we're very excited.
Trivia night or something?
Trivia night,
Okay,
trivia night,
sure.
like on a Tuesday night.
Sure.
This is a Dear Diary. Like we're looking forward to this in a week's time. Like, 'cause there's nothing else. And the night comes and we're doing the quiz and we're doing pretty good on the trivia. We're answering them. And it comes down to us and one other team for the win, right? And I forget the prize, but it was probably 4 cans of PBR or something.
Yes.
And I want to win, like I'm competitive. And the final question to decide it is how many people survived the Titanic? Don't know if you know that. What would you guess at?
600.
706, okay? 706 people
You
survived.
knew that?
I had a vague idea. Richard, for whatever reason, did not consult me. He just wrote down 1,500, handed it in, it was wrong. We lost the quiz. I didn't speak to him for 3 days. That's...
And
we
there's
were like
no one else to talk to.
Because we were like an old married couple at this point. You know what I mean? We were just... We'd already run out of conversation. Like, Richard's one of the great anecdotalists. He's a great talk show guest. He's written 2 sets of diaries that have been published because his life's that interesting. And we had nothing to say to each other after a week. We're just sitting at dinner, just... Every day we ate dinner together, in silence, like Donald and Melania. You know what I mean? It was weird. It was weird.
Only cheeseburgers.
Only cheeseburgers.
We have a clip here from the new season.
Yes.
What do we need to know about this, if anything?
So this, funnily enough, the show, as you know, is about people doing community service. So although this is the 3rd season, I'm thinking series 4, maybe New York, I don't know, feels like there's an idea there. But anyway, in this season, I am befriended this woman, Lady Gabby. She is a woman who prefers ladies, but she is looking to get pregnant. And so she's turning to a close friend who might be able to offer some donation for her pursuits to have a baby.
Jim?
Are you sure you want to have a child with me?
Why not? You're smart, you're tall, you're tall.
I never really saw myself as a dad.
Oh, but you wouldn't be the dad. You'd be like a weird uncle.
So if I was watching him play football, I couldn't shout, "Stick it in the goal hole, Sonny."
Oh, darling, no son of yours is scoring goals. They're not even getting picked for the team.
He'd be half my...
Yes, but if you lent me a bag of sugar to bake a cake, you wouldn't say the cake was yours, would you?
I'd like to think once you've mixed it with your eggs, I was entitled to a slice. What if he's got my eyes?
Oh, let's not catastrophize.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. The Outlaws is streaming now on Amazon. Stephen Merchant, everybody. We'll be right back.